Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Welcome to another episode of the Mrs. Elmi group. Today we have Ayaan Ali, who's going to be talking about a very dear topic to our hearts if we are all parents. So, Ayaan, would you start by introducing yourself, your background, your educational achievements, or any projects that you're currently working on, inshallah?
Okay, assalamu alaikum. Hi, everyone. Thank you, Zamzam, for having me on your platform. My name is Ayaan Ali, and I am a mother of two. I have got a real passion for sort of child development, child emotional well-being, and just in general, overall well-being of parents as well. I've studied psychology at university, criminology and psychology actually, but my interest steered more towards psychology. And in my working life, I've worked at various different charities supporting women and children, so in the voluntary sector mainly, and around supporting women around domestic abuse as well. Personally, I've always wanted to make sure that as a mother, I was providing my children with as many opportunities, as many resources, things that they could relate to. So, sort of books with representation and those kind of things. And briefly as well, I was selling books as well. So, just promoting that literacy and education as well for children, which is why we connected as well.
Fantastic. Okay, so our next one is if you can tell us all about the My Positivity cards and why you've created them.
Yeah, I actually forgot that part of the introduction. So yes, I'm also the creator of My Positivity cards, and they are a set of affirmation cards for children. They are 24 affirmations. 12 of them have a girl character, Idil, and 12 of them have a boy character, Ilmi. And I wanted to have sort of a sibling dynamic in the card so that children who've got a sibling can use them together and increase their bond as well. Sometimes it's difficult to find resources to use as a family. So as much as it can be used for one child individually, it can also be a way to do a family activity and increase that bond between the family members as well. And again, it's something for children to take ownership of their mental health, ownership of their well-being, and feel empowered. So the reason I created the cards is what I wanted children to be confident. And I know particularly children from ethnic minorities, such as where I'm from, Somali background, um, they might not always see themselves represented in television programs, educational programs, in books, literature, but also mental health resources. So I know that there's a lack of that. And I thought, how can I create something that people can relate to, but children can also use for themselves and not have something that adults have to teach them, but more about them teaching themselves how to be confident. And they're really simple activities. You read the cards, just a sentence, and it's an affirmation to affirm your own confidence, your own self-worth, self-love, and it's just a range of different cards, really.
Okay, so why are affirmations important to our children as they're growing up, especially in the primary education?
Yes. So I think affirmations are extremely essential and important in self-belief and confidence. So the more that your mind is what you think of it. So you will tell yourself how you are, if that makes sense. So children, we can tell them that they're amazing, that they are, beautiful, and all of these things. But if they look at themselves in the mirrors and they see something that they don't like or they've got an insecurity, it's about undoing that and having positive self-talk. So in order to achieve that positive self-talk, repeating affirmations daily, and being able to say positive things about themselves will help them be confident, secure in themselves, and that will then in turn make them less vulnerable to things like bullying, um, you know, insecurities and things like that. And as children grow up, of course, especially as they go through puberty and things like that, they will go through hormonal changes and have their insecurities and have challenges in that sense. But from a very early age, if you build that foundation, and as toddlers and preschoolers and as they're going into primary school, have that confidence, it will only help them, even in terms of their academic achievement as well, because that building that resilience for children will help them to keep trying harder and keep becoming better at the subjects that they're studying.
Fantastic. No, that's absolutely great. So how early can parents start talking about to their children about feelings and emotions? And currently we're going through the children's mental
Health week, yeah.
health week. So how can parents start as early as possible?
Absolutely. I think, with it being Children's Mental Health Awareness Week, I think it's about answering those questions. When is too early? When should I start? And those type of things. I personally started because I am speaking from the viewpoint of a parent rather than an expert, because I'm not an expert in the field at all. I'm just a mom trying different things with her children. So for my daughter personally, I started when she was 3 years old, just because I wanted her to increase her vocabulary. I wanted her to learn new words, but also I wanted her to have a lot of positivity around and be able to learn what different emotions and feelings are. So I started by explaining and showing her pictures of different emotions and asking her, what do you think this means? And the range of it. So whether she could select what different emotions meant. So not just sad, angry, and
A variety.
happy, but yeah, a wider variety. So learning the words like frustration, overwhelmed, and the positive ones around feeling excited, joyful, empathetic as well. So empathy is part of the increase in children's literature. Their emotional literature is about giving them the range of those words and finding out the meanings of them, because as soon as they then are able to learn that, and I would say definitely starting around the age of 3 is when they would understand it. But I think positive affirmations can start earlier than that, by the parent saying it to the child, and getting them to repeat them from the age of 2. Before that, it's just about, again, using it as a tool like you would when you're reading a story. So you can read books to babies, you can do affirmations to babies, and then that stays in their mind, and they read your face, they read your facial expressions, and as they grow up, then they're able to, when they do start reading, uh, delve more into sort of what the meanings are of different feelings and emotions, and that will help them express themselves. So I've noticed that when my daughter had a wider range of emotions to select and choose from, she was more able to tell me exactly how she was feeling, rather than her expressing it through a tantrum, for example. Yeah. Not to say that she didn't have them, because trust me, they still happened. But it's good when you see that your child's actually able to tell you what they're feeling, and you're able to talk to them. It helps. So
that was my next question, actually.
Yeah.
What are the benefits that you've noticed in teaching children about recognizing and understanding a range of different emotions? So one of the things that I find hard, actually, is with one of my children, when she will, this was when she was really young, so she would cry rather than tell me exactly what's going on. And boy, oh boy, did that take a lot of patience in me. So constantly telling her, speak, use your words, because while you're crying, I'm not able to help you. You're not going to be able to get through to me, because while you're crying, I'm just going to simply ignore you. So what benefits did you see in discussing these range of emotions?
Absolutely. I think, that's quite common with children expressing themselves through crying, and other children will do it by breaking things or being angry, just to get those emotions out, because it's about self-regulating and having that self-awareness. And even adults struggle with that. Adults go to therapy when they can't deal with their emotions. So the benefit of talking about emotions and learning what different emotions mean from a young age is that you're able to develop those emotional intelligence skills. So even children can develop emotional intelligence. They'll be able to understand their emotions. They'll be able to express themselves in a healthy way and actually take a moment and sit and speak about it. rather than expressing their emotions in an unhealthy way that's not going to help them. So the benefits definitely are, emotional intelligence, developing that further, self-regulation and self-awareness, and also empathy as well. Children get a lot of empathy through understanding not just their own emotions but other people's emotions. They'll learn about how to respond in friendships and conflict that happens within the playground, for example. So they can apply their skills anywhere really.
That's fantastic. So, what is your message to other parents who want to build a stronger bond with their children to raise them emotionally intelligent and a strong, healthier mind in general?
Yeah, personally, I think consistency is very, very important. Consistency and communication. So, it doesn't matter whether you're starting and your child's already a teenager or whether you're starting with a younger child. It's about finding something that you can do together and having that quality time, whether it's through affirmations, whether it's through bedtime stories, but having those bonding moments where you can actually spend that quality time together. And if you've got different, multiple children, giving them that equal amount of time that you can have that one-to-one separately from the other children, and making sure that um, they know that you're there. So it's not about getting your children to tell you everything and communicate and talk through every single feeling, but it's about making sure that they know actually it's a safe environment. They can talk to you when they're ready. So sometimes it's very hard as parents because we want to be there and say, tell me now. But maybe sometimes when we step back a little bit and say, when you're ready, you can come to mommy. And the younger ones, actually, getting them to draw out their feelings. So doing an activity where they just use, and I think especially
Use
with
that expression.
yeah, with children's mental health awareness week as well. The theme this year is express yourself, isn't it? So getting them to express themselves in the ways that they are more comfortable in. Not everybody's a speaker, not everybody likes talking. But if your child does like talking and really enjoys conversation, making sure you take time to listen to them as well. I noticed definitely with myself, I can get really busy. If I don't give that time to listen, the child gets frustrated. They want that attention. They want you to actually not just be there, but listen to them. And, by doing that, you then ask the relevant questions or you tell them back what you think that they said. Oh, I noticed you said this and this and that. Is this how you feel? And then getting them to answer back. So
Right.
it's hard. It's hard. Definitely hard. But I think consistency, quality time, it's a part of those love languages, isn't it?
Yeah.
And finding out what your child's love language is. There's actually a book that you can get on Amazon by, I think his name is Gary Chapman, who does the love languages for children as well. So the 5 different love languages, which are quality time, gifts, words of affirmation, um, acts of service, and it was the last one, physical touch. So those 5 affirmations, children also develop the love languages. Those 5 love languages, sorry, children develop which ones they prefer. So if your child is a cuddler, maybe physical touch is their love language. So the way that they show love is by hugging and kissing and climbing all over you. And if you as a parent don't have the same love language, it's hard to give that back, but it's about understanding and saying, actually, if my child needs this, I need to be more affectionate physically. But then there's children who constantly ask for validation and they ask for, they compliment you a lot, or they write notes with little love letters to you and things like that. And then words of affirmation are their love language. So it's about giving them the same thing back. So yeah, it's definitely a good book to look into having as well. I read it every now and again because I'm trying to figure out my 3-year-old's love language, which I don't know yet. I feel like he's all of them.
You're still getting to know them, inshallah.
Yeah, definitely.
So let's hear about these cards.
Oh yes, I've got my cards here.
And just to let you know, my family absolutely love these cards. We have them. We have them in the car on the way to school. Pick out a random card every day. Today's one was, I'm a leader.
Oh,
Okay?
nice.
And not a follower.
Oh yeah, definitely.
So let's hear more about them and how you use them, for instance, and
Yes.
what are the reviews that you've had from some of your customers so far?
Yes, so I actually was inspired by my own children in terms of creating the cards. I wanted something that looked like them. So the cards resemble Somali children, but they are used by different backgrounds. You know, it's not just for one community. The cards, you know, we use them on a daily basis, sometimes in the evenings, sometimes in the mornings. When we go to school, we have them in the car as well. And my daughter picks out her 5 affirmations. Sometimes, because I've been doing it with her for so many years, she doesn't sometimes even need the cards. She will know what she wants to say for the day, so she'll have hers in her mind already. But for other children to be introduced to them, you just ask them to select a card that they resonate with. So the younger ones that can't read, they might just look at the picture. And this one, for example, is I am confident. And they might be like, yeah, you know, I want this one. And then you read out what it says. And then they feel confident. And I've had one of my customers actually, one of the cards that her son really liked was I'm funny. And I believe he was too young to even read it. But he went and copied the what the little boy's doing in the picture, and he got a saucepan, put it on his head, and you know, messing around in the kitchen and things like that. So I think it's about celebrating the children, celebrating their uniqueness, all of the different, you know, things that are amazing about them, and reaffirming that by them believing it in themselves rather than getting that external validation. So if your child is old enough, say between the age of 5 and 7, and they can read, it's about giving it to them and telling them these are your positivity cards, which is why I call them my positivity cards, for the child to have that ownership, and they can read it whenever they want. They can sort out the different emotions, looking at the facial expressions and saying, you know, Idil, she looks happy here, but then Ilmi, he doesn't look very happy there. Why could, you know, what could be the reason for that? And just communicating and finding out about the cards. One of the actually feedback that I had from one of the customers, which was really useful, was she felt that some of the words on the cards were too complicated for some of the younger children. So for instance, you've got, I've done a mixture of simple terminology and more complex ones. So you've got I'm helpful, that's a simple one. I'm honest. But then you've got, instead of brave, I said I'm courageous. So that's for children to then to expand on and not use the same words to describe things. Instead of curious, I said I am inquisitive. So it's about teaching children new language as well. So
Building their vocabulary.
Yeah, and then parents can say, you know, these are the different ways you can say something. So again, giving them more skills to express themselves. And then they'll be, you know, the smartest ones in the classroom that know more, you know. So I wanted the children, inshallah, to be very, you know, just to increase their confidence, increase their ability and self-love as well. So I wanted them to, one of the cards is a self-love card. I've done it for both Idil and Ilmi. So Ilmi's one is I am important, I am loved and valued, I am important. And then on the back, it says the word important. Then for Idil, I've got a self-love one, if I can find it. So I wanted children to really understand that concept of you are loved, but you also have to, you know, our bodies are a gift from Ilahi, so we have to respect our bodies but also love it and care for it. So this one is I love me, I love my body, my skin and my hair. I love me, because I know especially for girls, you know, there can be that a relationship with their hair, relationship with their skin, depending on their you know, the tone of their skin and things like that. So I wanted them to feel proud of who they are, where they come from, what they look like, and just, you know, yeah, that's it really.
Just
It's a little bit too much about it.
No, that's perfect. Just one last question. Let's say a parent is not very fluent in English, for instance,
Yes. Yes.
how would you recommend them to use the cards? I just thought about that just now.
Yes. So inshallah, future wise, you know, because I had actually a few international customers asking me if the cards can be translated. So I am looking into translating them into different languages. So inshallah, there'll be a Somali version, Arabic, some of the European languages as well. Because alhamdulillah, I feel like I've connected with people from across the world and the demand is there. So being able to meet that, it would be good. And I think especially parents who want to teach their child their mother tongue, it's again having another resource that they can go to. So it's not available at the moment yet, but I am working on it. I'm working on a personalization option as well, where kids can have their names on it as well.
Oh, that would be perfect. Oh my
So
God.
that would be like a nice little gift for the children, you know, if they've done extremely well in whatever and the parent wants to gift them something, that would be a nice gift where they can have their name on it. And inshallah, just a lot more of Idil and Ilmi in the pipelines. That's what we're hoping, inshallah.
Oh my God. Onwards and upwards for you, sister. I'm so
I
proud
hope so.
of you. Honestly,
thank you so much.
I'm a huge fan. A huge fan.
Thank you. And also, for everybody that doesn't know, the Simpson was actually my first customer. Yes, I'm very proud about that.
Thank you so much.
My first
Wallahi, I'm
supporter.
honored. I'm so honored, and like I said, I use them every day, and this is
Thank
for
you.
all our audience. Please, if you don't have a copy already, get yourself one, get your loved ones ones, and that's it. That's all I wanted to say. Thank you for taking the time to, you know, talk about our, you know, children's emotions and how we can look after that, and as well as obviously my positivity cards. I am so happy for you, and I wish you nothing but success for the future, inshallah, Habibti.
Thank you very much. Also, I just wanted to add, the cards are going to be available on my Etsy shop. So I will give you the link to that, and it will be on my Instagram as well. But if anybody wants to get more information or message me, they can message me on my Facebook page, My Positivity Cards, or on Instagram. The handle is My Positivity Cards. That's it.
Fantastic. Once this interview is up and available in the group, I will be listing all of those links right below the post, inshallah.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Take care.
Everyone. Bye.